Today we're going to talk about design sprinting, which is a crucial part of any design process. What is a design sprint? Well, it's a focused exercise to generate as many possible solutions to the brief as imaginable. What we're concentrating here on is quantity, not quality. We want as many as we can. It's part of the divergent stage of design where we're trying to create as much volume as we can in order to drill down and refine later. The key is to focus in a short amount of time on as much or as many possible solutions as we can. So how do you do a design sprint? Well, firstly, you set up your environment. A quiet, not too warm, not too cold, distraction-free environment is really important. Making sure you have all of the tools you need. So this might be tools to draw with, tools to make with, might be post-it notes, markers, tape, it might be some fabric, it might be some illustrative tools, it might be enough paper. Could be as simple as making sure you have enough time. Put on some music. I usually recommend something like classical music because it's not too distracting and doesn't have words, so you don't spend half your time listening to it. Set a timer. Now you can do a design sprint for an hour, you can do it for 20 minutes, you can do it for half a day, you can do it for a whole day, you can do it for a week. But it's important to have a clear idea of how long you're going to do it for. I would recommend doing it for an hour to start with. Embrace mistakes. Now remember, we're not looking for quality here. We definitely don't want perfect. We don't have the time for it. But actually, what you might find is that some of those mistakes turn out to be the most innovative things that you do. Make it fun. Try a range of different things, but have fun throughout the process. Crank up the music, play with crazy colors, try things you haven't done before. Try a range of activities. Maybe do things you haven't done before or do them in a different way. Use a different media to draw. Try a different technique. Embrace a range of things. Try a range between 2D, 3D. Play around, have fun. Record everything, draw everything, photograph everything, tape everything, video everything. Make sure that you have recorded everything, because you'll need it not only for your sketchbook in the future to record your design process, but also to come back to in the future. These resources don't go away, they become things that we can come back to. And most importantly, stop when the timer goes off. Now, hopefully you will have a desire to keep going when the timer goes off. Now, stopping at this point doesn't cut your creativity short, but what it makes you is hungry for the next time you do a design sprint. You can always do another design sprint, you can do as many as you want, but you don't want to burn yourself out early on, otherwise you won't want to do the process again. So, what you do with all of those things once you've done them, all of your sketches, your ideas and prototypes, once you put them all together, once you have done the design sprint, what do you do with them all? Well, you filter them. Now you filter them through a funnel that I call the criteria for success. What do your ideas have to do? What basic things do they have to do to meet the needs of the brief? So if they do those things, if you can answer yes to all of those things in the criteria, you stick them in your kind of pot of gold, you stick them in the yes pile. If they can't, you stick them in the recycle bin. Now you don't throw them away, but they're ideas that you might use later, so you just discard them for the moment. That's totally fine. So this filtering process will take you from lots and lots and lots of ideas to a small amount of ideas. Maybe set yourself a timer for this too. Can you go through all the ideas you developed in the hour in 10 minutes? Well, then what do you do? Good question, good question, good question. Okay, are you ready? So we take our pot of gold and we talk about it. So we get to talk to as many people as we possibly can to get as much feedback as we can. We're wanting feedback on these very few ideas so that we can ascertain how successfully they meet the needs of the brief. Now, we already know that they do meet the needs of the brief because they pass through our criteria for success, but now we want to know is how well they meet the needs of the brief. And it's really important to listen to that feedback, to make sure that we take it on board and genuinely listen, that we're not defensive because they're not talking about us, don't forget, they're talking about our work. Then we take that feedback we've listened to and we use that to generate a million more ideas, as many as we possibly can. And that way we do another design sprint, or we use it to create the divergent thinking of our new project. And then we filter that again. And we do that again and again and again and again in this divergent, convergent, divergent, convergent. Now, a design sprint will focus you In a design sprint, we're able to get a lot of stuff done in a short amount of time. Thank you so much for listening. Like and subscribe if you're that excited. Definitely follow us on Instagram. Have a great time.